Hey everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Reaction and Reviews. Today we are reacting to the Avengers Doomsday trailer, which just dropped on YouTube, and it is coming out on December 18th, 2026. Before I get into the video, I just want to let you guys know that we may be a little bit late getting some of our videos up this week because I'm in southeastern Ohio, and a lot of places in our general geographical area got hit by some pretty heavy storms recently, and we got hit pretty bad in our area too. There was a tornado that came through within 5 miles of where I live, and as far as I know, as I'm recording this right now, the morning after, there's no real serious damage as far as loss of life that I'm aware of, but please keep in your prayers all the people that are affected all across the Midwest and just wherever these storms are happening. But we did have high water. We had a lot of damage done to our property, but it's nothing that can't be handled. Everybody's safe in my family, and I just appreciate your prayers for everybody involved in this severe weather situation. But anyway, the Avengers Doomsday trailer just dropped. It is coming to the theaters December 18th, and let's go ahead and check this out. Before we get into it, just a brief introduction. I have heard some of the fan theories as far as to some of the directions this might take, but I'm taking all of it with a grain of salt. You know, with fan theories and leaks and stuff like that, you never know how much of it's true and how much of it is just people making up stuff and how much of it is just pure speculation. Well, what I'm expecting, number one, is, of course, it's Avengers Doomsday, so it's going to have the Avengers. I assume it's going to have what they call the new Avengers, when they had that movie that, I forget now what the original title of it was called, but then at the end they retitled it the New Avengers on the very end of the movie. I assume that those characters are going to be in it, and hopefully some of the original Avengers as well. Since it's called Doomsday, that makes me believe it's going to tie into the Fantastic Four movie. Now, the Fantastic Four movie was set in a different universe than the MCU that we're used to, that we've been following for the last 20-some years, since around 2000, 2008, that general area is when it started, and with the original Avengers that we were watching in the MCU. So I'd like to see some of those characters come back in that universe, because it seems like these two universes are going to cross over. The Avengers that we're familiar with, the old Avengers plus the new ones in that new movie I just referenced, are in the original MCU universe, original as far as the 2000s version. The Fantastic Four movie is in a completely different universe, just like with the DC universe. You had the DC movies that they were establishing for about 10, 15 years with Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden they switched it up and gave us Superman, the movie that came out about 2 years ago, and then the Supergirl movie follow up. Those two are in a completely different universe, and so they're introducing them together, but they are parallel universes to the original DCU universe. Kind of like in the Marvel, the MCU, you've got the multiverse. They've got something similar over in DCU, the Infinite Earths. And so, whereas they're doing the multiverse in the MCU, I think that these are going to be two different universes that are part of the multiverse. And I think they're going to clash in this movie, Avengers Doomsday. And so, I think they're going to have the Fantastic Four, obviously because Doomsday is the name and the way they ended that movie. Spoiler alert, it featured Dr. Doom with young Franklin Richards. And so, with some of the fan theories about who Doom may be in this version of Dr. Doom, I think it's going to cross over, that his origins come from something that we've seen before. And I don't want to get too much into spoilers in case you guys haven't seen these fan ideas and so-called leaks and don't want too much stuff to spoil. I'm the same way. I watch the trailers and stuff, but I try to avoid a lot of the spoiler stuff ahead of time because I want to be kind of surprised in the movies. But anyway, I think they're going to cross over. The Fantastic Four is going to meet the Avengers, and they're going to be part of it. So that's what I think so far. This is going to feature Dr. Doom. It's going to pick up where Fantastic Four First Steps left off, and it's going to cross over into the original MCU universe that we've been following for the last 20-some years. And hopefully it'll pick up with some of the original Avengers. I know some of them have retired, some of them have passed away. And then you've got the new characters as well. I'd like to see some of those new characters show up, but there's a lot of them I would like to just see just disappear and pretend like they never existed. But we won't get into all that on this video. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out this trailer and see how much of what I have predicted that I'd like to see is going to happen in the trailer, and if it'll spoil anything or give us any clues as to what direction this is going to take. All right, and here we go.
Something's coming.
Something's coming. Oh, is that Professor X? Okay, so it's got the X-Men. That's cool.
We shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Okay, that was Doom right there. So you got Dr. Doom, you got the X-Men.
I've fought with many warriors in my time.
Oh, that voice, is that Thor?
Far stronger than all of us put together. And they died.
Okay, Thor's
Died facing
putting the team
enemies
together.
and threats
Black Panther.
that scared me far less than this one.
Okay, so Thor's scared. You know it's going to be big.
Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing.
The TVA, there's Loki.
Not stand together.
So I'm on the right track. There's Fantastic Four.
Hide your petty squabbles.
There's the Thunderbolts.
If you
That's right.
you will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Okay, so Thor's going to go head-to-head with Doom.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. Loki. Oh, wait. That one, who was that? Oh, that was Captain America. Okay, so Captain America... Wait a minute. How can Captain America be back? It's got to be an alternate Captain America. Because remember how they ended his arc? Four months, 27 days, 15. Okay, it's got the countdown clock. Okay, now that was kind of cool. That was exciting. Okay, now watching that trailer, that's got me hyped. There was a lot to see in there. I'm going to turn down the volume on this, and I'm going to play it back slowly and try to pick out some of the stuff that I picked there, because there was just so much going on. It's hard to remember everything to comment on. Okay, so you got Professor X, which shows the X-Men are going to be in it, and we did see the X-Men before as a cameo in, I think it was the Loki series, or maybe it was one of the movies where Loki was featured as part of the TVA. It was at the end of Loki season 2, I believe, where they went into the alternate universe, and they had all the different Lokis there and everything. But anyway, they featured a universe that had the X-Men, but they were actually killed in it. Spoiler alert, sorry. There's probably going to be a lot of spoilers here for stuff that's past, that's a couple years old or longer in the MCU. So if you haven't seen the MCU, the Marvel movies and TV spin-off series and stuff like that, I might be giving too many spoilers for you, so I apologize for that. But there was an appearance from Professor X and a couple of the X-Men and Fantastic Four that were killed, but these weren't the same Fantastic Four that we've seen in Fantastic Four First Steps. It's a different version of them. So, and also Professor X, I believe he was killed, if I remember correctly, but this is obviously going to be a different Professor X. I wonder if it's going to be the same one from the Sony X-Men movies or a completely different one. Remember, this is all up in the air because of the multiverse, which obviously we know from this trailer with Loki appearing with the TVA card. We know that this is going to be his return after the end of the Loki series. So the way that ended, I'm just going to reference that without going into details for those of you that haven't seen it. The way that ended, I'm going to be curious to see how they bring Loki back. That he's been watching over what he's been watching over all this time and how he plays into this. Okay, so you've got the X-Men showing up on this, which will be a different one from the ones that we saw in Loki. And you got Doom, obviously, and there's a fan theory out there, which is supposedly leaked, that tells who he is, but they haven't confirmed that here in this trailer. Okay, then you got the Fantastic Four, obviously, from the First Steps movie. Then you got Thor putting together this team that's got the characters from Black Panther. You got a guy in the Black Panther suit, plus you got the villain character from Black Panther. His name slipped my mind real quick. And then also Black Panther's little sister that was the genius with the technology. And then, there's Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi's back, so that's exciting. I'm glad that they brought him back because they only had him in his own movie, and then we haven't really seen anything from him since then. That's been a while, and so it's good that they're following up on that and not just completely dismissing him because he was a good character. That was a decent movie, and that is one of the characters that they introduced when they started doing all the woke stuff. This is one of the films that came out that I enjoyed and would like to see more of. So I'm glad to see that they're bringing that character back for this. And then you've got, looks like it might be the Invisible Girl fighting, what's her name? Black Widow's sister. I can't remember. Not Natasha. Natasha's Black Widow. Then they show Professor X again. And looks like he's talking to Doom. Then you got Johnny and Sue Storm. You got some action here. And then Thor going head-to-head with Doom. That's going to look epic. Reminds me of when Iron Man went head-to-head with Thanos. And so we're going to have a similar situation here with Thor going head-to-head with Doom. And then that final scene there, it shows, and he says it can't be. And he holds up Mjolnir, and it goes to Steve's hand, proving that it was Steve because he's worthy. So, but then again, we know what happened to Steve at the end of Endgame. And so my question is, how is Steve coming? There's tons of questions here that this trailer leaves us with, and that's good because we don't want all of the questions to be answered. We just know these characters are coming back, but we don't know if they're the same characters or if they're different versions from a different part of the multiverse. When you deal with a situation like the multiverse, anything is possible because you've got these characters. I apologize for the traffic. But when you come up with a scenario like the multiverse, you've got these characters that could be the same characters coming back. And the question is, how could they do that? But then it could be the same characters from a different version in a different universe. And so that's a possibility too. And I don't know. There's a lot of questions here, but I'm excited for it. This looks like it's going to be epic. And at first, when I was thinking about this, I thought I was going to be disappointed because with them introducing the two universes coming together, like the Fantastic Four universe and then the original MCU universe, and I'm calling it original. When I say original universe for the sake of this video, I'm referring back to the first 3 or 4 phases of the MCU that we saw in the films since the year 2000 between 2000 and 2008 when it was launched. But the idea of them bringing those two universes together, I was kind of hoping that they would build that second universe a little bit more first. Instead of just throwing the Fantastic Four in by themselves, that they would build that, have 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 different movies, like a whole phase, like they did in the original Phase 1. They had Iron Man, they had Hulk, they had Thor, they had Captain America, and then they had the Avengers movie, which they had all those characters come back, in addition to introducing a couple others, which would be Black Widow and Hawkeye, and of course the SHIELD agents that ended up becoming very important to the series. Introduced them all together and brought them together into the Avengers movie. I was kind of hoping they would do the same thing. Introduce the Fantastic Four, and then maybe 2 or 3 other superhero groups, and then bring them together with the Avengers from our universe, have them cross over. And I guess they're kind of doing that with introducing the X-Men in this, because really we haven't seen the X-Men in this universe except for that brief cameo in that one episode of Loki season 2 that ended up being obviously X-Men from a different universe from the one we're going to see here. So they are introducing the X-Men, will be new characters here. And since Sony still owns the X-Men, I'm assuming, I wonder how they're going to do that and whether they're going to be able to actually make an X-Men movie in the MCU, or if this is the only place we're going to see them. But since they're introducing the Fantastic Four into this, plus they're giving us some of the old Avengers, like I said I was hoping to see. They're bringing back Thor and Captain America, which I was surprised to see. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm glad to see Steve back, but I still hate to see his arc start back up after it ended so nicely. It almost seems like it cheapens the end of his arc that we saw in Endgame. The same thing with Tony, if what I think is going to happen happens. But then again, if these are different versions of those characters, then I could go along with that. Steve, I think what I would like to see happen with him is I want it to be the same Steve. I don't want it to be a Steve from an alternate universe. I want it to be Steve from a different timeline, to where he was traveling during Endgame, went back in time. He had some other adventures in time before settling down, and I think this is going to be, or at least I hope, this is going to be one of them, that he actually does this and then goes back and ends that arc with Peggy. And if Tony comes back the way that they're saying that he might, I don't want it to be the same Tony. I want it to be a different version of him that was created from the TVA, from the Loki series, the multiverse. So those are my thoughts. I think it looked like a great trailer. It got me excited going through and seeing all the different characters that we can expect to see. I'm glad to see old characters returning and new characters being introduced. And I'm glad to see that the characters that they chose to bring back are the better of the characters. I didn't see anybody in there from the Thunderbolts movie, so I'm happy for that. I wasn't excited for that movie, and I'd like to imagine that would never happen. Same thing with Thor, Love and Thunder. I'd like to pretend like it never happened, and so I just hope that they don't reference anything that happened in those 2 movies, and I'll be happy. But anyway, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my reaction, hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel so you know whenever we add new content, and turn on your notifications, and you'll get a notification whenever new stuff is uploaded. We do have the light side music reactions, typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel at 10 a.m. But like I said at the beginning of the video, this week we may be a little bit late on getting some videos uploaded because of the weather issues we've been having and the cleanup that we're doing around here. But anyway, I thank you guys for being part of the family. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on the light side. Have a great day, and God bless, guys. Bye.